I'm back. Go Junior Plus, back to more to your day. And you know how much I love talking about Madden in EA College Football. Either if I'm roasting the game based off of its terrible pass protection, or I'm needlessly and hopelessly getting hyped for the upcoming games. Year after year, I'm playing these games and I'm either playing cinema, or the majority of the time I'm playing absolute garbage but getting through it anyway. Apparently, Madden 26 is going to change that. This should be the best Madden game yet, which, I mean, that doesn't really mean much. Since Madden 20, like, even half of the games I actually enjoyed. Like that. So I think Madden 20 was actually good. I think Madden 21 and Madden 22 were not great. I think Madden 23 was solid. Madden 24 is more middle of the road, and Madden 25 is an enigma. But welcome to Madden NFL 26. So we got our first Gridiron notes of the season. And the trailer, of course, actually I think the reveal trailer was much better than the college football one. I'm not exactly sure why, but maybe just because it had more specifics. I don't know, man. I just preferred the Madden one. But we got a lot of notes to go over. I mean, there's some Ultimate Team and stuff, other things I don't really care about. Like, I'm not going to pay a lot of attention to this first, like, little paragraph blob here. But here we are at gameplay. When we talk about gameplay for Madden NFL, oh yeah, subscribe, guys. All that. Subscribe to my other channel, Go Junior, where I'm doing my Titans franchise. All that. Y'all get it. I'm trying to make sure y'all remember because I have so much more subscribers there than I do on here. Anyway, when we talk about gameplay for Madden NFL 26, we're talking about real-world NFL data, seeing the tendencies and traits of the league superstars, experiencing real football weather on the virtual gridiron, strategizing around the real X's and O's of football, and real community feedback coming through each snap, truly making every game you play feel different. You can't share everything today. I mean, you could, but they're choosing not to, obviously. But we're going to roll through some of our favorite gameplay features right now. Our Madden 26 NFL gameplay deep dive is on the horizon, and I can't wait to show you what we've been cooking. Gotta use that new gen slang to get people hooked, you know. QB DNA. The quarterback is the most iconic position in all of sports. You might be right. But also, like, probably just in America. Anyway, to reflect that, Madden NFL 26 has completely reimagined quarterback mechanics from animations to behaviors with our QB DNA. Not only are you watching Josh Allen's rocket arm fire off a deep pass mid-jump, you're doing that when you're playing as Josh Allen too. More than 500 new quarterback animations were added to Madden NFL 26. So the first thought I have is, can auto-generated draft quarterbacks inherit some of these animations that are supposed to be for specific quarterbacks in the NFL? Maybe? Or they stay generic. QB signatures in Madden 26 are a visual replication of everything from how each quarterback holds the football in the pocket to their arm slot when slinging it down the field. We've overhauled our player trait system with now 50 new player traits across numerous positions. That sounds pretty good, especially because they affect simulation games when you're watching very heavily. All backed by real-world NFL tendency data. Does your quarterback in real life throw more often to the right side of the field? Joe Burrow, for example, will be more likely to set his feet before throwing at other quarterbacks. Josh Allen, as fearless as he is in real life, will be trucking defenders as he takes a chance to scramble for a first down instead. Whether it's Lamar Jackson getting shifty to avoid hits or Matthew Stafford dropping his arm down to finesse a screen pass, pocket presence, scrambling tendencies, and passing styles reflect the unique traits of today's stars and tomorrow's legends. So maybe it will be, since there's 50 new traits, it probably is going to be attached to auto-generated players as well. Coach DNA. Okay, a lot of DNA today. It's like it's Kendrick Lamar's album. Anyway, ignoring the bad joke. Introducing Coach DNA, a groundbreaking feature that brings the personalities and tendencies of NFL head coaches to Madden NFL 26. Powered by machine learning stemming from years of real-world data, Coach DNA mirrors the unique styles and philosophies of NFL coaches. 4th and 3, you better be ready for Dan Campbell and the Lions to try getting a first down. Passing successfully on the Vikings, expect some creative blitzes from their unpredictable defense. This data-driven play calling brings real-life head coach tendencies onto the virtual gridiron. Our second piece of coach DNA is an overhaul of the coach suggestions that also contains what we call coach speak. If you're playing as the Lions, Dan Campbell will offer various suggestions depending on the down and distance, true to the Lions' tendencies and mirror the way Campbell talks. Like, he actually talks? On top of that, we have real-time coaching AI, where the CPU teams will make pre-snap adjustments and suggest play calls that specifically counter your opponent's tactics. Driving Coach John Madden's vision further for teaching X's and O's is at the forefront of Coach DNA. Now, another thing is, since I like to do my custom coach, and I'm sure a lot of people do, how will this affect this new coach suggestion stuff? Because a lot of us aren't going to be playing as the original NFL coach in our rebuild. We're going to be playing as either ourselves or one of our old franchise players as a legend now. So I don't know how this will affect custom coaches, and they don't seem to be going into that. So we'll have to learn more later. And honestly, I'm expecting not much for custom coaches. We received a ton of positive feedback on our playbooks from the previous year, and we're happy to announce that we have nearly 1,000 new plays at the launch of Madden NFL 26. Our playbooks contain the current trend of motion and shift-based offenses you see from teams like San Francisco and Miami. For our defensive playbooks, you'll find exotic blitz pressures, defensive disguises, and the all-new stunts and twists to lock down your opponents. Yeah, we heard about the stunts and twists in college football. I'm never really moved by the 1,000 new plays. Personally, Titans franchise for me, the playbook is it's alright. I like the run plays could get more creative, though. I mean, I don't really care for new plays. I'm more just a franchise guy. I mean, I can play against people in real life, and I'm good at it, I would say. But I don't think this matters too much to me. We're going to move on. Wear and tear and new depth chart positions. Modernized roster management adds strategic depth with a wear and tear system and dynamic substitutions. Wear and tear affects player performance, while dynamic substitutions allow seamless situational swaps without pausing gameplay. I think the only thing I really can think about right now specifically for dynamic substitutions that would be useful is specifically putting in a power back immediately without having to do third down or power back, or specific running back, kind of like auto subs, or maybe putting more bigger run-stopping D linemen in for 4th and 1 play. But really, I'm not really moved by dynamic substitutions either. It might be really good. I'm not going to be too negative here, but... And as well with the wear and tear system, hopefully it's better than College Football 25. It's in College Football 26 and Madden, so I'd be surprised if they didn't make it more effective. In fact, it was kind of irrelevant at a lot of times. I mean, there were sometimes where I would bench a player, but it never really carried over week to week for me, which could also just be an issue if it's too broken. But we'll see. Highly requested new depth chart positions, modernized Madden NFL 26 featuring edge, nose tackle, long snapper, and the versatile gadget position. This upcoming NFL season could see a dynamic, consistent two-way player in Travis Hunter, and Madden NFL 26 is ready. Hunter will have abilities that counteract some of the wear and tear of playing both ways, meaning you can't just throw any receiver at cornerback and expect the same result. So, I think it is good to have edge and nose tackle, not really because I specifically love the positions themselves, but it's because the problem with Madden is that if you're in a 4-3 like I am, I have my middle linebackers, I have 2 middle linebackers, my left side linebacker, and my right side linebacker. Or really, since I'm doing 4-3, it's 1 middle linebacker. And those 2 edge rushers, they kind of rush off the edge. And these both outside linebackers, they both rush off the edge and play off ball sometimes, which is kind of weird. And then I also have my right end and left end who always rush off the edge. Then I have my 2 defensive tackles. That's 6 players that can rush off the edge sometimes. And while it does kind of make it fun for rotating them in and out, it still kind of causes an issue where you're like, I'm not really sure where this player fits best. Like I drafted Peter Calhoun. He plays left outside linebacker. Also is our backup rush left end. It's just weird, all right? I would like players especially in the draft too. Because when I'm drafting an outside linebacker, I think, oh yeah, this guy's going to be really good on the line. Turns out his ratings are actually just for more of a field general or a run stopper. Now we're going to be able to draft the edge position if we want an edge rusher. I think it's just simpler and better. So no complaints about this, even though I don't think it's a crazy change like some people were asking for it for years, but I think it is for the betterment of franchise mode. And also, so some players can get abilities to help them play two-way. So not every player can just play corner because they have 95 catching, which is, of course, a great thing. It's simple, but it's a good thing. Long snapper, so now you'll actually probably have to keep a long snapper. He'll probably be like actual high overall there, and we'll see how Gadget works. I think that's players like maybe Taysom Hill. I mean, like maybe they play slot receiver and receiving back and maybe some tight end. Like that, it sounds fun. I'm actually interested to see how the Gadget position works. Football weather. NFL teams. Okay, let me make sure this isn't too much longer. It's pretty long. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker as we move on here. So, football weather. NFL teams face the dual challenge of battling each other on the field while contending with various harsh weather conditions through the season, and we have brought that to life with football weather in Madden NFL 26. We've completely overhauled not just the visuals, but also the effects of weather conditions. Heavy snow, fog, which is pretty irrelevant. Normally, rain, and I don't even think it's in the game, really. Rain and everything in between will affect the environment, or the movement, visibility, stamina, and ball control. If you're playing Madden NFL Snowball, you'll notice players slipping or moving as clunky as they would in a real-life blizzard. Physics from how players move to how the ball carries will be adjusted to mimic weather conditions. Think again about chip shot field goals in heavy weather. We've also added finer details, making the elements a part of the home field where cold weather teams will not get as much where cold weather teams will not get as impacted when playing in the cold and wet as warm weather teams. But to balance, when playing in extreme heat, those cold weather teams will tire out faster, which is a little detail with a big impact that came straight from NFL players. Nice. Purely positive. So if you choose the Cardinals, they'll really struggle at Buffalo during the snow, but Pittsburgh may also struggle to play in Houston. Like, for example, that's pretty good. I think it's a really good gameplay addition. I'm actually excited to see how many snow games I end up playing because, I mean, how many games is really going to affect the season? One? But also hot weather and rain. So it should be pretty solid. I'm not excited for this one, but I think it's going to be a good change. It's just like, it's a small thing because it's not going to affect every game you play, but at the end of the day, this is something that people wanted. They wanted more extreme weather effects, and that's what we got now. Foundational football. Football fundamentals are not optional, they're essential. So we're doubling down on the core football principles to give players more depth and control. Explosive locomotion, run and pass blocking, defensive zone coverage, physics, and new mechanics are at the forefront of improvements as we heard your feedback. Yeah. Say this, I feel like every year. Specifically, blocking and zone coverage, but when we say explosive NFL gameplay, here is what it means to us. Simply that the left stick feeling has never felt better in Madden. It's not just fast players are fast at the end. Our explosive locomotion differentiates the north to south speed of athletes like Tyreek Hill versus the wiggly east to west players like Jahmyr Gibbs. With explosive locomotion, a player who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash will feel like a player who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash. We want our players to feel the visceral difference between fast and explosive in Madden NFL 26. Custom defensive zones, I don't really care about this that much. I mean, I actually do like that we can set custom zones, but I don't think it's worth reading this again. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna skip that part just because I'm not trying to spend too much time, but it is a good addition to make specific players more shifty, and custom zones sounds really fun, especially because I run mostly zone. The team heard your feedback and transformed the coach customization and immersion features in Madden NFL 26 franchise mode. New challenges make the game week-to-week experience feel different. First things first, in the NFL, no two coaches are alike. Now in Madden, that's also true. We've added hundreds of new heads and brand new gear for when you're creating your coach and style. We're also, which just makes sense because they started showing the coach a lot more in game, so I think it makes sense that they've added a lot more customization. First things first in the NFL. No, I was just here. We're also introducing a new meta game with coach abilities in Madden NFL 26. You can now check out the scouting report and customize your game plan against your opponent each week. Coach abilities are also more than just a menu item. They can trigger via in-game scenarios. For example, one ability could increase your offensive tackle success rate against power moves. Leveling up your coach gets you access to more abilities. And of course, CPU teams will be able to take advantage of these game plans as well, game planning against you. This is good because I still feel like coaching is pretty irrelevant in Madden. Even with the skill tree, I just don't see that in game. Like, yeah, it tells you it's easier to trade or that your players have +1 to carrying, but you don't see that in game. It doesn't have an effect when you're playing. You forget about coach and staff points when you're in game. So I guess they're trying to really make coaches feel alive, which is a good idea because coaches are just as important as the players on the roster. Playbooks become a large focus for your franchise this year with play sheets. Play sheets are another component of your weekly game planning, allowing you to add extra plays to your playbook. The play sheets you'll be able to access depends on how you level up your coach. That sounds fun. Being able to add your own plays based on how developed you are as a head coach, that sounds fun to me. I don't know about y'all. That sounds really fun to me. Managing wear and tear is now part of franchise strategy too. Remember when we mentioned Travis Hunter in the gameplay section? Upgraded trainer roles means trainer abilities are used to manage wear and tear. Okay. So now it's not just, don't use full pads and starters too much or your players will get hurt. You can actually reduce chances of losing stamina and probably injury as well if you upgrade your trainer. Okay. Franchise mode comes alive with enhanced presentation, including halftime shows and weekly recaps with Scott Hansen, and an all-new custom broadcast packages for Sunday, Monday, and Thursday primetime games. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Like, broadcast packages it's something presentation, I think. Because, it's not in the presentation area, but, that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like it's specifically franchise, but I'm very excited to see franchise and presentation. Because while gameplay seems to be upgraded a lot, too, today, or this year, I don't know, man, weekly recaps sounds like it could actually be really fun to watch every week, especially as you get closer and closer to the end of the season. And maybe there's even a Super Bowl recap where it goes kind of very quickly over the entire season, which teams end up winning the divisions and stuff. And then it has a lot of potential, man. I'm actually excited for this because halftime show is boring. There's no weekly recap. There's nothing cinematic after games. It's just menus besides the draft. And now they've got this. This is pretty solid. Speaking of presentation, NFL atmospheres come to life with revamped authenticity in Madden NFL 26. Experience team-specific runouts, crowd chants, mascots, and pregame traditions, such as Minnesota's Skull Chant or Baltimore's Light Show. Now, there's already a few crowd chants. I know I've heard Go Pack Go 85 times in my life. I think there's some Titan chant. I can't remember exactly what it is. I've heard the Jets chant, but there's probably more since they've mentioned them again. I'm excited for mascots because they are not in the game, which is weird because NFL mascots are not as big as college mascots, but they're also pretty important. And pre-game traditions, so not just that classic run out that every team has. So it's beginning to feel more and more like college football. And let's talk head coaches. More gear means more authentic looking coaches. Dan Campbell is going to have that signature Dan Campbell. Oh my God, how many times are they going to say Dan Campbell today? Look on the sidelines, complete with his t-shirt or rolled up long sleeve. In terms of uniforms, the team added more alternate and classic jerseys from Nike, including the Texans redesign. Stadium edge walls and field arts are being aligned with specific uniforms. Bengals rocking a white out, Bucks in the creamsicles. The field logos will match those uniforms. Another in-stadium detail we added, in-venue prompt graphics packages from the team's real-life Jumbotrons will be in the game. Okay. It does sound cool that, the logos will match what jerseys you give a team. I know they probably won't do this because the Falcons haven't done it too much, but it would be really cool if you give the Falcons their throwback jerseys, they have that little kind of diamond design in the end zone that the Falcons started doing, I think, a couple years ago. But yeah, that's a good step in the right direction. Literally changing your jerseys affects the field. Like, that sounds really sick. It's all in the details, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can't wait to share more with you in the franchise. Yeah, you already said that before. So I think it's just superstar mode, and I'm done because I'm not caring about Ultimate Team. Step into the spotlight and live your dream NFL career. Important. Yeah. From rookie hopeful to legendary icon, every week brings fresh story of the week narratives that pull you deeper into the heart of the game. Career chapters will guide you down the path to becoming a superstar. Start as a bench player and work your way in the different phases of your career by meeting objectives. But fail to please your coach and you can find yourself back on the bench and looking at a redemption arc. Build and manage crucial relationships with your coaches, teammates, and agents through the immersive sphere of the influence system. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Because who you know off the field can be just as important as what you do on it. Keep your body in peak shape by balancing wear and tear, pushing your limits in intense superstar live events, and sharpening your skills to climb all the way to a 99 overall rating. I'm going to try really hard to get through Road to Glory this year so I can actually import my player and begin superstar mode, which I did not do last year. I got through 2 seasons of Terrell Britt and I was done. I could bring that back, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to act like I might. I won't. For players who love Superstar Showdown, yeah, whatever. I don't care. So then Ultimate Team, I do not care. So I think that's about it. So that's it. I'm excited for a lot of specific things, but I think this is probably more exciting than the college football one. I know college football has less to improve on, but we should see a large jump from Madden 26. But if the same problems keep appearing, it's not going to matter. If offensive linemen still can't keep up with edge rushers, if players in zones still randomly start playing man coverage on drag routes instead of the deep corner route, then it's going to be a problem. But hopefully, this year will finally be not even a step in the right direction, an actual good football game. But that's it for today. See you guys later. Tell me what you think in the comments and subscribe because